Spinning.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Over the Bar. Matt and Sean here with you guys again this week.
Tried to get Sal.
Yeah, tried to get Sal. We can't drag him out of the Albany area. So, Sal, the show's for you. But we'll start off, Sean, awesome fucking week for Champions League. Champions League football. Finished up this week with a group stage. We know basically just about every team that's going through, as there's a game getting ready to kick off here in just a second, which is the Villarreal and Atalanta game from Italy, where they just got snowed out. So we're still waiting on that winner as we're recording the show.
Atalanta needs a win to finish second in that group. We know all the group winners.
Basically, whoever wins that goes through. If it's a draw, I believe
Villarreal
go through.
Yep, they got a point advantage.
So it's a win needed for Atalanta at home in the blizzard-like conditions.
Yeah, it's win or stay home.
Yeah, because I believe Young Boys are certainly third in that group.
Young Boys are guaranteed fourth.
So they could go to Europa, but you want to say in UCL.
I learned a lot yesterday about the new Europa League format. It was always third place of the Champions League gets sent down, but they went straight into a round of 32 where they drew 16 different matchups, and now the group winners in Europa League
bypass that?
Yeah, they get an automatic bye to the round of 16. So they have a round of 24 where 16 teams play, but it's the runners-up from the Europa groups drawn in one pot against the third-place clubs from the Champions League groups.
We'll be finding out who's going to be in those Europa League places as the rest of the week goes on. We have Europa League. Right now, as we're recording, Europa League set to kick off in roughly about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
That is going to be an entertaining
It's going to be a good day of games to see what the hell happens. Let's start off with our performances of the week, as we do pretty much every Champions League week. Your performance of this match week 6.
I want to give a little bit of love to my guy, Timo Werner. 2 goals and an assist. They didn't get the win, but it's not Timo Werner's fault. They conceded 3 goals, is it? And on the opposite side of that, Zenit to score 3 goals against Chelsea in a match that doesn't mean anything for them. They were already locked into that Europa League third-place spot. They couldn't climb any higher. It was just kind of, let's see what we've got left in the tank for the big boys before they get sent back down to the not-so-big boys.
Yeah, so it looks like it is Zenit going down to Malmo are eliminated. After yesterday's
there are some
matchup.
Good teams going down.
So you're giving Timo Werner your love. I'm going to give my love to Ajax and Erik ten Hag. Ajax, one of 3 teams in the Champions League this year to go undefeated in their group, win all 6 games, get to 18 points. It's only been done 10 times in history, and 3 of them were this year with Ajax, Liverpool, and Bayern. Liverpool, Bayern, more so expected them to get a lot of points this week, especially Bayern's group. I thought they were going to be they were pretty much a shoo-in to get that 6 wins. The other 2 teams, not so much, but definitely not Ajax, given that they were with Sporting and Dortmund in their group. I thought that was a hell of a performance by them. Erik ten Hag's got them playing at a phenomenal level. I think it's probably the best team he's had going to the knockouts. I could give that one an argument, even better than the one that upset Juve.
Like you said, having Sporting and Dortmund in that group, Dortmund is probably the club that people expected the least to not finish top 2.
Yeah, and then they finished third. They go to Europa League, joining Barcelona, who we'll get to in a little bit. But that's
because that wasn't as so much of a surprise.
Yeah,
everybody's known for a good few months, possibly even years now at this point. Barcelona's in trouble.
Barcelona's in big trouble. And we're going to get to Barcelona here in just a second. So the UCL is officially done and dusted with the group stage. We now move on to the knockouts. Your Chelsea move on. My Liverpool move on. Looking at who you could possibly face in the next round, I want one team. Give me one team you believe you want Chelsea more than anybody else to face in that first knockout.
There are only 4 possible clubs that Chelsea can match up with. They can't get Juve because of the same group, and they can't get any of the 3 English clubs. So the options are Bayern. So hell no to that.
Definitely.
If I had a choice, I wouldn't want to play them. For me, the thing is, you're going to have to either beat Bayern Munich at some point to win the trophy, or you're going to have to beat somebody who was good enough to beat Bayern.
So you would say if you drew Bayern, you're nervous.
I'm not afraid of Bayern. I'd like to progress deeper before facing them, but it's not like, oh, we're done as soon as we draw them. Like, no, there's still
games to be played.
Yeah. So Bayern, still fourth preferred. Real Madrid beat them in the semifinals last year. Not too worried about that matchup. And then there's Ajax and Lille. So from those, I would probably want to get Lille.
Yeah.
But even still, Ajax, like you said, they were impressive. They won all 6 matches. But Dortmund's been pretty banged up for most of this season.
Yeah.
Sporting isn't a massive club. So they did have, I guess, a little bit of an easier run in the group stage. It wasn't quite as tough as, say, Bayern winning 6 matches by a combined, 18 goals? They steamrolled.
Yeah, I believe they also demolished Barcelona. They demolished
plus 19 goal differential.
Plus 19. So they had more goals. They had a higher goal differential than they had points that they could possibly earn in a Champions League group round. So they had a
higher goal differential than anybody, even the teams that got smacked every week. Then even as aggressive as theirs were negatively.
So you want
Besiktas negative
you
16.
Want Lille. You want Lille over every team. That's who you're.
Yeah, go Lille, Ajax,
one of the two.
Real, Bayern, kind of in that order of preference.
So I'm a Liverpool fan. Obviously we have a little bit more options going forward. We have 2 of the Portuguese teams. So we have either Sporting, who came out of that group with Ajax, or we have Benfica, who came out of the group with Bayern Munich. Either of those 2 teams I would love to play first and foremost. Liverpool, historically great when on the road in Portugal. So I think that's a place that they would love to go. The other team I'm kind of looking at right now, and I think it's an interesting take on this one. The one I don't want is PSG. Naturally, that's the only team in the entire, I guess, second pot. Because obviously we can't draw Chelsea. So the only team I don't want is PSG. If I'm going to face PSG, I'd rather face them in the later stages. I think that's where, we would expect to play a team like that. You wouldn't want to face a team like PSG right now, even with the problems they have going on.
And with the group assignment that Liverpool had, there's no way they can draw Atletico Madrid in this round of 16.
So no Atletico, no Chelsea. Basically everybody else is up for grabs.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's why that second pot is still going to have plenty of quality clubs in it.
Oh, yeah.
When it came down to the final match day, Chelsea-Juve battling for the top spot, it wasn't all that essential for Chelsea to finish at the top because you get a few more. Like, you got Salzburg would have been nice. Villarreal wouldn't be terrible. Like you said, the couple of Portuguese clubs. Mm-hmm. But then they would still have Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid, PSG. So whereas right now there's a 50-50 chance, in my opinion, at least 50-50 chance of getting a relatively easy assignment.
Yeah.
There would have been a 4-7 chance of getting a pretty easy one. And it's just for this first round. It's a potential advantage. So I wasn't too devastated by the draw yesterday.
So let's do this. Let's get
I made some money on the back end too.
Did you?
So yeah. Oh yeah. Salzburg and Lille, baby.
So let's do this. Let's actually go through the teams that are here. Let's pick where we think these guys are where we're gonna end up. So, let's start with Man City. Who do you think Man City draw?
They'll probably get an easy draw. They always seem to get a little cakewalk in the first couple rounds.
So they're gonna. You think they're gonna? Who do you think? Pick a team.
Go Sporting.
Sporting. I'm gonna say Man City. I'm going to say Man City do get an easy one too. However, I'm going to give them a hard one. I'm going to end up going with Benfica. I think they get Benfica. I think Benfica's the in my opinion, Sporting and Benfica are 2 really good Portuguese sides, better than Porto at the moment. But that Benfica team just seemed like to fly all around the pitch. They did lose to Sporting recently in the derby, so. But I'm going to go Man City, Benfica. What do you think for let's go with Bayern Munich. What do you think Bayern get?
I have no idea, man. It's a complete crapshoot. I don't even think
I'm going to take I'm going to go Bayern. Bayern go ahead and get Chelsea. So that's what I'm gonna go with. I think Bayern go right ahead. They get Chelsea. We get a hell of a matchup off the bat. I think it's going to be the matchup of the knockouts.
Then we get Liverpool, PSG, and then
no. Yeah, Liverpool's going to get Salzburg. That's what we're going to get. I'd love to face Salzburg because I
forget about the second phone down there.
The thing about Salzburg is that I always like when Liverpool play this, and they had them in the group stages about 2 years ago. So yeah, if you haven't heard, our phone's going off here, but
I think the battery on that one just died.
Oh, good. It did. Right, good. No more phone ringing.
It was a death squeal.
The Salzburg team that we got in this Champions League.
Dear Lord.
Should we just pick it up on there? Just pick it up on there. See what the hell happens. What's it say?
I think that is still that one died.
Yeah, so basically, I think it's going to be. I would love to see Chelsea get Bayern Munich. I think that Salzburg side, as far as young players go, I think that's probably the best young team possibly left in the whole tournament. They got some guys on there. Benjamin Sesko, freaking stud of a player. A little bit of Erling Haaland-esque. They also have Karim Adeyemi, so that's another guy that everybody's going to be after. Barcelona, obviously, it looks like he turned down Barca, so we'll see where that one goes with FC Salzburg. I think they're one of the interesting teams. I'm going to put them against Liverpool. I'm going to give Real Madrid to Manchester United. I think Lille is going to get Juve, and I think Ajax get PSG, and Sporting end up with who the hell am I missing here? Lille. That's who it is. So that would be obviously that would mean whoever comes through this one gets the last of the winners there. So
yeah, I would just say whoever pulls Sporting, Benfica, Villarreal, and Salzburg, whoever they are, they're almost definitely going through because there aren't going to be too many options there on that top rack for teams that are actually going to have a problem with those clubs.
I think I agree. However, I think
that PSG, Atletico, Inter, and Chelsea all have a really good shot to move through, regardless of who they match up with. The other ones need a lot more luck up the draw. I would love to see Manchester United get a tough draw. Already out of VFL Cup, not going to win the Premier League. I wouldn't mind seeing them get knocked out early of this. So I'm hoping they get like a PSG, or especially given the rematch of the last time they played PSG. I think that would be an interesting matchup to say the least. So when I get to our game we got here, Sean, we've got a little game we're going to play. Quick hitting game. So basically it's called Leave It or Believe It. I'm going to give you something going on in the soccer world, a question, and you're going to basically say if you believe it or if you want to leave it. So first things first, will Xavi succeed at Barcelona? Leave it or believe it. Succeed by whose standards? Barcelona fans, the club, himself?
At any point will he succeed? Because all he's doing right now is just shitting the bed.
Yeah, but how much of that? At this point, none of that is really his fault. It's only his fault for taking the job.
Will he win a trophy at Barcelona?
Yeah, he'll win a trophy. He might win a Copa del Rey in there somewhere.
I think he'll get a Copa? I don't.
They've got enough cups they can play for. They could sneak out Europa this year, too.
I can't. Boy, maybe that's a good one.
I think they'll give Xavi. They'll give him enough time. Mm-hmm. He'll show enough progress over the early stages. He'll get one eventually.
Next one.
This isn't Spurs.
Yeah,
it's Barcelona.
True. Next one here. Leave it or believe it. Will Ralph Rangnick get United into the top four? Leave it or believe it.
Believe it.
You think he will?
Yeah, I think. I want to say before the season started, I still had United finishing second. And that was pre-Ronaldo transfer. with Ollie, I don't understand a lot of the hate for their club, for the squad. They've got some star power there. Not many teams have star power like they do. City has a ton of depth, but you don't really have. I mean, you've got De Bruyne. It's fantastic. But they don't have a ton of other players that are considered top of the Premier League. Ruben Diaz, one of the best defenders in the league. Ederson, one of the best keepers. But they don't have that striker leading line. They don't have Aguero bagging 20, 30 goals anymore.
If they had, Aguero, this was maybe
it's a lot more spread out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where United is right now, too. It's like they get goals from a lot of different sources. And then you get Ronaldo making it all about him when he finally does score one.
And then the last one here, leave it or believe it. A Premier League team will win the UCL. Leave it or believe it.
I'm going to leave it. I think that they're still going to have too much domestically to cope with down the stretch. It's not going to be a 2-horse race where last year Chelsea didn't have to worry about a title race. They were in a little bit of a top 4 battle. But now you're going to have at least 3 clubs who could be making a deep run based on the later round draws for the knockout stages.
Is it Bayern or PSG? Who are you picking?
Who says it's one of those two?
It's got to be. All right. When we get to the knockout stages, we'll get back to our picks then. I believe that. I think a Champions League team or a Premier League team will win the Champions League. It's not going to be United, so that narrows it down to 3. So I think there's a good chance that one of those teams is going to probably pull it out. And it makes about a 20% chance almost that one of those teams pull it out. I would give them the benefit of the doubt. Not that I'm rooting for the other 2 teams at all, but I'm just saying I think they're the best. It's the best league in the world. 3 of the top 4 clubs in the world, I would say.
Outside of Bayern, years, that best league in the world has worked against them, though.
Sure.
With that just overload, not enough gas to get across the finish line.
If you were to take one at this point, would you take another Champions League or would you take a Premier League?
Oh, this season, pretty much any season, I would take a Champions League over a Premier League.
Same.
And especially being able to go back-to-back if they won it this year.
Sure. Be the first time Real Madrid did it back-to-back-to-back.
The only team to win a Champions League since COVID seasons ended.
Did it end? Is it still going?
Well, that was the one that Bayern won during the COVID interrupted season.
That was. I'll tell you what. If that wasn't the last domino to fall in the downfall of Barcelona, I don't know what is. Just the 8-2 drubbing there.
Throttled.
Because obviously you got to look at the couple of years prior. I mean, they lost to Roma after being up 4-1 in the first leg. Lost that one. Then they
Edin Dzeko late one to send him through, wasn't it?
Yeah, Edin Dzeko. Yeah, no, it was Kostas Manolas. It was the Greek freak. He actually scored the winner that sent him through.
Another former Premier League player.
And who did he play for?
Wasn't he at Arsenal for a while? Or no, I'm thinking of they had some other Greek man there.
Socrates, the other center back. So let's get to our picks here for the week. First one, we got a game starting on Friday. That's going to be Brentford, Watford, 3:00 kick there.
Battle of the Fords.
What do you think?
We're going with the Bees.
Yeah?
Bees over the Hornets.
I'm going to go Watford. I'm going to go 3-2 Watford. There's a lot of goals in that game.
I think Brentford 2-1.
Brentford 2-1. We get to Saturday's games. Saturday's got a damn good slate.
It's going to be fun.
It's got a damn good slate of games. We don't normally get a slate of games like this that is just front to back, good games all day. We're
going to have breakfast here.
We are going to have breakfast, I believe. So we'll have that for you guys as well if you guys pop into the garden here.
Sausage, eggs, home fries, corned beef hash.
The breakfast burrito.
The burrito that's like 2.5 pounds.
Yeah, it'll fill you up and yeah, you'll be good for a couple of days.
You order it on Saturday, you can eat the second half of it on Sunday.
Yeah, for the other games on Sunday. So let's start off with the 7:30 game. Man City Wolves, very good game to start off the day at 7:30. Your prediction on that one, Man City Wolves.
This is my surprise pick of the week. I'm going 1-1 draw.
Ooh.
Wolves always play City real well. I feel like City don't normally rack up the goals against them as easily as they do against other clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, that was more in the Nuno days than the current times.
True.
But Wolves have looked really good the last few weeks. They had a shaky start, but they're starting to find goals outside of Raul Jimenez.
Yeah,
I think that was their big issue, the backstretch of last year. Once he went down with that skull injury, they were free falling.
The only thing I don't like about Wolves is what the last match is probably going to do to them. I don't know. Given that it was a 94th minute winner against one of the teams you look forward to in the league, I don't know exactly if they come out of this one guns blazing like they probably should. I'm going to give this one to City. I'm going to go 2-0 City. Wolves, by the way, also almost beat City last year. If I don't recall, they had a 1-goal lead and ended up losing to Wolves late in the year. 10 o'clock window here. Let's start with a very good one. Arsenal and Southampton.
Oh, Gunners. Gunners 2-0.
2-0?
Southampton might get one, but Ramsdale's just playing too well the last one.
The way Arsenal played against Everton, I'm going with Southampton in this one. I'm going to go 2-1 Southampton again. I think Arsenal listen, they got enough talent to beat teams like this, to beat teams like Everton. The fact that they basically played a second half that looked like they were down about 2 men. So I don't know what the hell they were really doing. I don't think there's any direction right now with this club. It seems like 1 week they have it, next week they completely start over again. So I'm going 2-1 Southampton. Next game here, your club, Chelsea. They get a Leeds United team that is just injured, I think is an understatement for what they're going through.
Hey, they're not the only ones in that matchup that are injured, though, either. They didn't have a midweek matchup against Zenit where they had to travel to Russia. I'm nervous about that one. I think Chelsea will pull it out. I think it'll be a 2-1, maybe a 3-2, but I'm sticking with the 2-1. Leeds can still be dangerous. They don't have Bamford. He injured himself celebrating that late winner, late equalizer in their last match. Hate to see it because he was a big bright spot for them last year too. But Bielsa can probably smell some blood in the water. Chelsea haven't looked like Tuchel's Chelsea the last couple of weeks.
I still think even with the injuries, I think you still have enough, especially in that midfield. I think, you still have Mason Mount. You still have, I think Ross Barkley did a decent job for you yesterday.
My boy.
I wouldn't mind them moving Ziyech back to a number 10 if they need to do that. I think that would be a pretty decent role for him. I'm going, man. So I think that would be a good matchup there, especially with the midfield is concerned. I don't know if Leeds have enough to score. That's my main concern. I'm going to go Chelsea 2-0 on that one. My favorite match of the day, the one that makes me very nervous too, Liverpool Villa, 10 a.m. On Saturday. I'll let you start with this one.
3-2 Villa. Stevie G wins at Anfield. Breaks the heart of his former club. And everybody else across the nation rejoices.
So you're going 3-2.
3-2 Villains.
3-2 Villains. I'm going to – it's at Anfield.
Right. If it was at Villa Park, it wouldn't have nearly the same weight to it.
No, it definitely wouldn't.
For the home fans, it would just be pretty much any other home match for them. But at Anfield, the home fans there are just staring at Gerrard.
Liverpool's players got a really big rest this week. No Virgil van Dijk, no Matip, no Trent, no Robbo. Midfield, no Hendo.
Started Salah-Mane.
Started Salah-Mane, no Jota. He's healthy. We're getting Naby Keita back this week. Joe Gomez is officially healthy too.
You know who else got a big rest midweek? Villa.
Villa did too, but I don't think, given off the shoulders of what these guys on Liverpool right now have been doing, knowing that we're getting a lot of players back. Bobby Firmino looks about a week away from coming back to training. Harvey Elliott about less than a month away from coming back to training. They're getting healthy at the right time. So I'm going to give Liverpool this one. It's probably going to be a lot closer than I'm going to say it is, but I'm going to go 4-1 Liverpool. I do think this is the game where Mo Salah will set himself up to basically take all the burden away from Mane. I think Mane's going to bag too. So that's my big prediction on that one. I like Liverpool 4-1.
I think Mingsy puts Salah in one pocket, Mane in the other.
Man's going to need some big pants because never done that before.
Oh, he's bringing his big boy pants, don't you worry.
The last game of Saturday. And also, we're going to pick the MLS Cup final later, too. Norwich, Man United, 12:30. Kind of a dud of a game at 12:30, but...
Unless you're a Ronaldo fan. You see him score a hattie.
Yeah, I mean, this is the game I think Man United run away with, right?
These poor Canaries. They've been looking better under Dean Smith, but that's...
How far can that go?
I mean, they just lost 3-0 to Spurs, and Spurs were averaging 1 goal per match. Yeah, United could drop 4 or 5 on them, but... I'll go 4-1. I think Norwich might sneak one in, but I'll take a 4-1 United.
I'm going to go 3-0 United. I was thinking about hitting 5, but I'm going to go 3-0 United.
Yeah, it's got the potential to get there.
It does. And
I feel kind of like a dick picking 5-0 against Norwich. They've suffered enough.
The possibility is definitely there when you look at those two teams. All right, so on to the Sunday slate here. We got 3 9 a.m. games and one 11:30.
Sunday slate not as
exciting as Saturday.
Not getting the
implication-wise, it could be big.
The juice is flowing.
Brighton Tottenham, the first one at 9 a.m. Pretty decent game, to be honest with you.
That game may not even go on. Tottenham had their Conference League match postponed today because they have, 8 players and 5 staff members that all tested positive, and they just trained yesterday with another player and another staff member testing positive just yesterday. So that one, if it goes on, I would give a huge advantage to Brighton.
And here's the worst thing about what's going on with Tottenham. They already had a game postponed this year
for the Burnley snow match.
So they could possibly be looking at multiple games that got to be postponed, and a lot of games that could come back to basically hurt other teams in the league too, because now those games have to be moved.
Right, because not only that, then they play at Leicester a week from today, Thursday the 16th.
Yep.
And yeah, there's no guarantee that one will go on as scheduled. In that point, they would be 3 league matches behind, and they would have a 4th for that Conference League match. That at this point, is it worth it?
No.
Is it worth in the busy section? Because they would have to, I guess, by UEFA law or UEFA rule, they would have to complete that match by the 31st of December, by the end of this calendar year. So, do you really want to win the 3rd tier European club trophy?
And they play Liverpool on the 19th. So it's not an easy road either.
Right.
So you got Brighton now.
Leicester, Liverpool, West Ham, all on a stretch of 7 days, and the West Ham match is Carabao. So that's another competition that could be impacted. They could be 3 different competitions.
And vice versa, the teams that they were
playing behind.
Teams that they're playing right before West Ham, Liverpool, and Leicester, they play each other in the Carabao Cup too. So that's going to be a decent day of games. So I believe they both play on the 22nd.
So I don't want to wish coronavirus on anybody, but fuck Tottenham.
What do you got for score, Brighton Tottenham?
Speedy recovery for all of Tottenham. But
if the game goes
if it happens, 2-0 Brighton.
I'm thinking the same thing. I was gonna go 2-0. Man, do I go 2-1? I'm gonna go 2-1.
I hope everybody's health there bounces back to normal. But I hope their success on the field is just non-existent.
Yeah. Burnley, West Ham, next one, 9 a.m.
It feels like it's going to have a low score, just anything where Burnley's involved. 2-1 West Ham.
I'm going to go the opposite. You ready for this? 4-3 West Ham. I want to go big on this one. I think there's a lot of back and forth.
Who's getting the 3 for Burnley? And how many are headers?
How many are own goals? That's right. I can see it happening too. I'll go 4-3 on that one. I was going to go 4-2. I'll go 4-3. Leicester and Newcastle.
You can't pick Newcastle right now. You just can't. Maybe after January when they splash some cash, but there's just no signs that they're going to be able to handle it. And Leicester haven't had a great year, but the quality of player there, just every position, no match for Newcastle. 3-0.
3-0. I'm going to go.
I think Vardy's a little rested too.
Vardy is rested. I'm going to go 4-1. I think Newcastle will get a consolation. Palace Everton, the last game, and then we'll get to the pick for the MLS Cup.
That's going to be a sneaky good one.
Could be a good one. Definitely two teams that want to go back and forth.
2-2 draw.
I'm thinking draw too. I'm gonna go 1-1. 1-1 draw. All right, MLS Cup Saturday. Portland Timbers hosting NYCFC. I'm a Portland Timbers fan, so I'm a little bit biased.
Bandwagon.
Yes, definitely. I'm definitely a bandwagon Portland Timbers fan. No, actually, I've been a Portland Timbers fan for about 8 years now. So just before,
Bandwagon.
what was it, about 2 years before they won their MLS Cup in 2015. But yeah, I've been following them for a while. But that, I like their chances this week. I think hopefully Sebastian Blanco is healthy and ready to go. Diego Valeri possibly coming off the bench. Dairon Asprilla. Hopefully, I believe he's actually out. I think he's suspended. So that'll be a pretty big hit. But I got to go with my Timbers on this one. I'm sorry, Asprilla is back and ready to go. I'm going to go Timbers. I'm going to go Timbers 3-1.
2-1, New York City FC.
Damn you.
Based off of nothing, I think I know 2 players' names, but I went to one of their matches this season, and I've never been to a Portland Timbers match. Wore my Altuve jersey in Yankee Stadium to watch an MLS game. That was...
Yeah, you're... I actually just bought Yankees tickets for... my dad, I don't think listens to this anyway, but...
Our pal Sebastian might be in watching it, rooting for NYC. My brother-in-law's brother, shout out Nick Davis. He may be down here.
It's gonna be a good. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the game. I know I'm going over to my parents after the Liverpool game's over, so hopefully I can get in front of a TV to watch the final.
I'll be here for it.
Maybe I'll see if I can get the hell out of there and run down here. See if I can come join you.
I'll call. I'll make up some kind of bar emergency. Be like, we need you here.
Bar emergency?
Yeah.
I believe that's actually what that's called, bar emergency. All right, guys.
We got Code Pilsner.
Code Pilsner. That'll be it for this episode of Over the Bar. For Sean, thank you guys for listening again. Feel free to find both of us here at the bar. Obviously, daytimes. I mean, you're going to get one of us pretty much guaranteed every daytime during the week. So
if not, something went wrong.
Yeah, something really went wrong. So definitely, come visit us if you can. Otherwise, thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you next week's episode.
Sam Kerr for Heisman.